I think there's some really interesting developments at the FTC. We have a new acting chair, Rebecca Slaughter. I think that given the dissents that she has issued from a number of cases last year, uh, her view would take the FTC in some really interesting new directions. And so I think that in the last few years, the FTC has been, besides some big splashy fines, has been relatively conservative about pushing the envelope in how it's enforcing. It's done a couple new things, but it hasn't been as aggressively innovative in its enforcement. I think that will change with this new administration. I think that the FTC will possibly try some new things. So I think it's something to watch to see what the FTC does. I see some evolution in its future in terms of how it enforces, and I expect it to take a more aggressive stand on companies in the future, and probably do more enforcement as well. So something to watch is what's going to happen there. Also, another C is states. There are states that begin with C, like California. But there are also states that are not California. So that's my other C is not California, which is Travis, I think, covered California really well. We know there's a lot of stuff going on there, but there are other states that don't want to be left behind. And I think that we'll see resuming some of the state legislative activity. There was a lot of activity after the original CCPA in 2019. Nothing really kind of got off the ground that much in that year. And then 2000, everything ground to a halt with COVID. But I think now we're going to start to see that the wheels start turning again, and the states start spooling back up. Looks like something's going on in Virginia and a number of other states. So I think that it's worth watching, because we could see at the end of this year a few other states join into the legislative party. Another C is Congress. Will Congress pass a privacy law? I think that the answer is probably no. I think there's a lot, there's kind of a lot of, partisanship in Congress, and it's a very difficult set of issues. It's hard for Congress to decide, what to do with an insurrection that almost killed them, let alone do action on privacy. So I'm not sure. I would hold my breath for anything federal, but there'll probably be some talk in Congress, but not a lot of action. And then I think also we're going to see, and I'm trying to find the C connection to this, but there'll be probably a renewed effort to come up with a Privacy Shield 3.0. And I'm trying to think of a word with C that we could name this thing, because we have to change the name, of course.
Privacy Compact.
Yeah, that's it. It has to be something new, because they always have to change it so that I build all my training around it and put in, my illustrator draw all sorts of ships and harbors for safe harbor. And then all that got wiped out because Justin had to make a deal. This next thing, now I have all these shields, knights and shields and all sorts of shield imagery. And of course, that all is going to be gone for something else. But I think there'll be an attempt to try to come up with 3.0. Maybe the third time will be the charm this time. We'll see. But I expect to see some effort there this year.